Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another matchup here in the IPL Season 1. This matchup is in the winners round 2. It is the best of 8 from the winners, and it features a Zerg versus a Terran. We've got ROOTCatZ taking on VTSpades. It is a best of 3, and we're going to start things off here on Xel'Naga Caverns. Let's introduce our players and check out their positions. We have got our Terran player, VTSpades, spawning as the blue Terran in the northeast of Xel'Naga Caverns. And that means, of course, our Zerg player, ROOTCatZ, will be in the lower left-hand position, the southwest position, as the yellow Zerg. Now, just a little bit of history about these two players as it relates to the IPL Season 1. ROOTCatZ made it here by defeating LG Og in another best of 3, and I do highly recommend those games. Now, ROOTCatZ is an unorthodox Zerg. He plays pretty much different than any other Zerg that I think that is out there on the circuit right now. Some Zerg are super macro Zergs, some Zerg are super aggressive Zergs. KatZ has this ability to really mix them all together and just do anything that he really wants to, and I know we've been looking at that hatchery for a long time. As I want to talk about the history of these two players, I'll now focus on what's going on here in the Terran base. We do have the barracks going down. KatZ had a game with such an absolutely ridiculous strategy in the last round versus Og that I highly recommend that you go and watch that. So if you haven't, then pause right this moment, right? Have you paused yet? And go watch that game before you check out this series. You may know the outcome because you're seeing this right now, but what you don't know is possibly the crazy stuff that KatZ was doing in those games. He is going up against our Terran, VTSpades. Spades was in Korea for a little while. He wasn't able to qualify for any of the GSL events, but just going out to Korea and getting a chance to play on those servers without lag and getting to interact with the players is really it can do amazing things for you. So let's take a look in this game. Oh, I did want to mention VTSpades also defeated EG in Control, who did do very well recently at some live events within the past few months. So, keep in mind that he took out a very formidable opponent here to make it here into the best of 8 for the IPL Season 1. Taking a look at things now as we focus all of our action or our eyeballs to this game. We have a command center going up. The hatchery did go down for KatZ. He also put down a Roach Warren, has his gas up and running, 128 gas right now. Has not researched his metabolic boost yet, which is essentially Zergling speeds. For those of you, as Tasteless would say, for any StarCraft noobs out there, you obviously want fast Zerglings, especially versus the Terran. So right now, Terran putting up a bunkers for some additional defense at their wall. In case any Zerglings come up there, they can hit safely from there. Just in case there's a Baneling bust, they might be safe in that bunker. We have 2 more barracks going down, so we're going to have some heavy bio play coming out of VTSpades while he expands behind it. And, getting this command center with the proper build can be great in so many ways. Even if you're getting pressured by the Zerg, you can still produce SCVs out of here. You can still, once it's an orbital, get mules, use scans. So it's really beneficial to actually build it in your base, go with the orbital, and then land it over. Of course, you'll see the pros do it a lot. And unless you know for absolute you are in the lead, a lot of times you'll see players not build at the actual location where it might happen. Later on in the late game when there's an army and, a lot of times at the gold, you'll just see maybe a command center go up right there. But a lot of times it depends on the control. So we do have some roaches from KatZ making their way up right now. We got about 5 roaches incoming here to the ramp. Now, roaches actually can do really good in a situation like this because of where the bunker is. He's just going to poke up there and come back. Now, if he had any sort of vision at all, and it looks like he's going to go directly for the bunker. Now, the SCVs are going to repair. A very smart move there by Spades. They're going to have to get out of position. A couple roaches do go down. if you have vision up here, the roaches obviously can hit things like this supply depot, maybe even the barracks. Unfortunately, there is an overlord over here, but nothing within this area. And I have to say, I'm a little surprised. A lot of times we do see overlords scouting, say, you can see that he's just basically covering his base, and every Zerg plays a little bit differently. But this overlord could have been, say, right over here where you're going to float it into your opponent's base later on. And then he could have said, well, hell, if I have vision up here, I can do some serious damage. So floating it to right here would help and allow him to take something out like that. But he's just going to have a light roach contain. Now, remember what I was talking about earlier with the orbital command. Here you see in practice exactly what I was talking about. The Zerg is outside. Hold on, the Terran looks like they might want to push. Is it concussive shells done? No, it is not done yet. And is it researching? It's not. So mostly marine upgrades with stim and combat shield going up. Of course, stim is huge on Marauders too, so shame on me. But you do see the orbital up. It's inside the base, and he doesn't need to expand yet. He'll be able to transfer over a lot of these SCVs, but the Terran's going to move out because he has to expand. At some point, we're going to see the Zerg taking a third base, so this is a smart move. He's got to apply some pressure. One roach will easily get it taken out, and stim is not yet complete, so this is going to be somewhat of an uphill battle here, but there's just simply not enough roaches, and really Spades can thank his Marauder count for that. Marauders, of course, doing a ton of damage versus armored, almost double what they typically do. So, getting out a few extra Marauders and then pushing against a bunch of roaches was really a smart thing to do. Of course, we don't have a Baneling nest up. We just have that single gas right now. I take that back. We had a Baneling nest right there. So I guess I was going to say, well, he could have attacked with those Banelings, maybe done a little bit more damage to the Marines, Lynx, and then roaches sort of cleaning up on the Marauders. Now, shame on me for not actually seeing if the scan caught the Banelings. We do go down and look at vision, and I do believe that he at least caught the Baneling nest, so he's going to know very much that that is there. Now, we could have a possible attack here. There are no bunkers here at the front, which is going to mean that the Zerg is going to get a pretty decent attack here. More Banelings coming into play, and we've got a lot more on the way. I know there were some. There we go. So some slow Banelings coming up. Now, does he know about this? Marine is going to move forward. Oh, Marine sees a lot of Zerglings, but he does not see the Banelings. He is going to be out. However, get ready for this attack. We're going to see a nice spread here with the Marauders up front. They can be meat shields for these Banelings. Obviously, the Marines are going to be the targets, and here come the Banelings, and a lot of them too. Zerglings coming in from the other side, and we're going to take out a wall of Marauders. Let the Zerglings do the rest. Banelings trying to get in. They will take. Oh, they do get a few Marines there, but a great split by Spades. There is nothing more on the way. And if I could be critical on any player in that particular battle, I have to be critical of ROOTCatZ. I feel like maybe wasting those Banes on those Marauders up front was not the smartest move. I don't know. That's what he decided to do at the time, and as you know, StarCraft 2, Brood War, it was a lot about making the proper decisions. Now, with the Marauders up front, it will slow down the Banelings as they get hit. So if you can micro, in fact, and make individual Marauders hit individual Banelings, it can do huge, huge damage to the potential that a Baneling has. And remember, a Baneling can take some damage, but once it's dead, it's dead. Just like, I guess, any other unit. But that's the only way it can attack. So he's going to go ahead, and ROOTCatZ is going to take care of the gold. And let's take a look at the production tab, just see what we have going on. +1 weapons for the Terran. 12 more Zerglings coming out. We do have Baneling speed on the way as well. And we have no upgrades yet on the Zerg. Let's check things out. We do have 2 Evo chambers. There are upgrades finally going to start with +1 melee attack. I assume we'll see +1 carapace fire up here in this other Evo chamber. I'm assuming he didn't make 2. And now we do have a push here by VTSpades. He's going to push forward. And now when I say push it, I don't necessarily mean he's going to push into the base of the Zerg. What I do mean is that he is going to push forward, because really what the Terran wants to do is they want to draw a line. Hold on, we could have an attack coming in here. A bunch of Zerglings are going to move up. We will get a stim forced out of the Terran player by those Zerglings, so that worked out really well. Not a whole lot of energy on these medevacs. In fact, look, they're in the low single digits, so that means we will have some hurt units here. They won't be able to mass a bunch of energy as well. And we've got a lot of Banelings. Now, what I think is going to happen here is KatZ is probably going to wait for his Baneling speed to finish and then go for an attack here, because what he doesn't want to have happen is he doesn't want a planetary fortress to build right here. And essentially, it's going to be much harder for the Zerg to fight into. However, this gold did just go up, and hold on, Banelings could be getting into position right here, and he's going to go ahead and attack. Oh my god, just as the siege tanks move up, Banelings are going to take a huge hit. We do have several Marines going down, but there are not enough Zerglings there, and the siege tanks took 0 damage. The planetary was also up. Now here's the problem with what just happened, is because KatZ put his gold up, the Terran could counterattack. In fact, expect possibly a scan right here by the Terran to see, is this an opportunity? He just threw away a lot of units. If he has nothing right here, I might be able to make sure this gold never gets up. So he is bringing more tanks to the front, more Marauders. He's got 1 siege tier, planetary in full effect. The hatchery is about to go, and he does look like he wants to mobilize here. Several Banelings. 18. Zergling's going to move up. Sees that he's taking control of the Xel'Naga. Now, what else is coming out aside from these Zerglings and Banelings? Right now, we strictly are literally on Zerg Bane play. And we are getting +2 melee attack. And here comes an attack from the Terran any moment now. As there's the scan. He sees absolutely nothing. He's going to go immediately for the hatchery. We do have a bunch of Marauders up front. Banelings are just going to pile through, wipe out all the Marauders. In comes Zerglings from the back. Should be some siege tanks here to help up. Medevacs do pick up some lone units right there. And believe it or not, despite the fact that Terran threw away a lot of units, they are way in the lead here. Taking a look at the army count as well. 135 supply to 176. We do have some links come out to try to repel this attack. But imagine this. Spades didn't even have his tanks in play at that point. So when you consider that the tanks weren't even in play, that, my friends, was very, very damaging to the Zerg. And these are throwaway units. The whole idea is to spend cheap units and continuously throw. Here we got another attack from Spades coming in yet again. Banelings will get taken out. A few Marines, they are given away to the Baneling gods, and so much stays alive. The siege tanks are out, and there it is, the GG, as ROOTCatZ falls in game number 1 to VTSpades, and that means that we move on to game number 2 here for IPL Season 1 Best of 8. I'm DJ Wheat. See ya in game number 2.